Ya Ingilizi ako na abang ay ikaw sa study.
Sorry Bang Jago, ampun Bang Jago. Tarik Des, semongko. Kini aku
syukur ada satu kelas yang lecturer tapi aku orang ada di laptop mana tahu yang online kelas ada delay mak tak mau tak jadi macam dulu buat apa final project bulan lah minit alhamdulillah aku tapi tak lah dengan doktor. Masa dulu kita buat final project tu last minute tau. Tapi tengok result last kali dapat okey lah. People in the movie based on a true story. Picture of the actual person in the end. I know the joke and I don't appreciate it and I don't agree with it. Thank you. Plus, where's the beer? Huh? Well, bad history. What is this? I have not seen this meme. Oh. I have not seen this meme. Oh. Did not expect that. Imagine getting that for your wife, Marcia. I just had to explain to Felix what puppy sharing. I don't. Imagine getting that for your wife, Marcia. I just had to explain to Felix what puppy sharing. I don't need that. I know sex. Nobody. Teacher at the beginning. I'm angry. Alright, too far. Teachers at the beginning of online classes turn on the camera. Is that what they do? I don't get it. I'm not a child. Hey Felix, it's the air pilot. One last time. Oh god, I forgot you were playing. I'm not logged into Reddit. I'm sorry. I guess I found a big fan. Fridge. Is that a pretty pipe thing? Fridge, dude. Oh god. Oh Oh, that's weird. PewDiePie and his son. I heard he was like a father to him. Someone took my photo, made me with my dad, and made me old with my dad young, and that's just weird. Stop it. Knock knock. Dave. Who there? Dude, hi. Dave, like who? Oh, didn't know you like Japanese poetry. I'm 30 now. I make dad jokes. Deal with Dave. You know, this package is surprisingly light. It is 79.30. Y'all ever mess with me? Not gonna say anything else for that. I love when they put like a sign not to use a knife over the package. I'm like, how am I gonna get it open then? Punch it? Does it make you guys anxious? What if this is not the album board? I'm gonna be so disappointed. Sorry, Tambourine Tower. You're irrelevant. What the hell is this? Oh, oh, it's flexible. I think I got a better one than, no, it isn't. I can't even fit this in this room. Yeah, I get to do it again. Hey, come at me, bro. Oh, here's the map. Where they weren't not getting coordinates. But I think if you spend over 2,000 on a fucking instrument. Oh my god, is this gonna fit? Yeah, it might be able to fit. Holy shit! It's so big! Oh, I forgot the mouth. Okay, okay. Back to the memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie intro. Memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. Oh, I forgot the mouth. Okay, okay. Back to the memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a. Back to the memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie intro. That's someone else's video. I've seen this channel. PewDiePie Levi reaction tier list. PewDiePie. That's not a. Back to the memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie intro. That's someone else's video. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie intro. Memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie to the memes. I'll blow it at the end of the video. That's the last rubber band I have. That's not a PewDiePie intro. That's someone else's video. I've seen this channel. PewDiePie.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rada.
Morning, Nada.
Please have the what they call your webcam. Please turn on your camera. Okay, guys, take your attendance here. Please go to your Putra Plus and take your attendance. Okay. Go to your Putra Plus and take your attendance. Okay, I notice not everyone is here, right? Where are your other friends? Suppose I think we have almost around 30 students. Any one of you are not from the software engineering's background? Who are the one from what they call different faculty? Anyone's here from different faculty? No response. So all of you are from the computer science faculty, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes, Rata.
So
Yes, doctor.
yeah, good. Osama, why I can't see you?
I
Some of
just woke up, doctor.
you just what?
I just woke up. I'm not okay.
Oh, you just woke up. Now it's already 10 o'clock. You just wake up, huh?
Yeah.
So next lecture, try to be early.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, Aiman also just woke up.
No, I woke up 6 a.m. Doctor.
Is it? Wow, so early, yeah. Because if you don't turn on your cam, I don't know who you are, right? And maybe in future we met in the faculty. I don't know who you are, right? Yeah, Osama, you got your breakfast?
No.
Not yet. Oh. It's almost lunchtime for me.
MashaAllah.
All right. Okay, guys. Can you guys do me a favor? Ida, hi.
Hey, Doctor.
Hi. Alif. Alif, you are male or female? Huh?
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Because it seems like you try to tie your hair.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah, it's a very long hair. That's why I saw it's like a lady just now. Right. So you're
New.
guys, huh? Okay, right.
Yes.
So yeah. So Priscilla, your face looks very familiar. Are you my PA?
Yes, Doctor.
Long time no see. Okay. Yeah, right. So Nidya,
Yes, Doctor.
hi. How are you guys doing? All of you are at home.
Yes.
Okay. So any one of you are in the hostel in the college? Anyone? None of you. Okay. So you guys are in the third year or second year now?
Third year,
Yes,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Oh, third year already. So you guys, I think your programming should be good, right?
Yes,
Yes or
Doctor.
no? Yes, huh?
Yes.
Depend.
So Abinis, you are local or what? You're foreigner or local?
Who me?
Yeah,
No, I'm local.
you're local. You're Indian?
Yeah, Indian.
Okay. Because it looks like it's an Indian from India.
The camera.
Okay. Good. Anyone want to say something to me? Daruman, I can't see you. No, Shuhana, how your face looks like? Shahira, how are you? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so I hope today we just the ice breaking sections, but I want to complete. I want to introduce you guys some things. Okay, Alicia, how to pronounce your name? Alicia. How to so it's very difficult for me to pronounce. How to pronounce that one? Lisha?
Krishna. You can call me
Alice. Alice. This is called Alice, huh? Okay, that's good. Alice, okay. You're at home as well. Avines Warren. Wow, this one's so long. How could I call you? Avin? Hey, can you hear me, Avin? Oh, Avin. Avin? Why you
Yeah, I
can't?
can hear you, sir.
Okay, how should I call you? Your name?
Just,
Avinis Warren. Okay, good.
can you hear?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's not clear. Your line might be weak. Hi, not sure, Hannah.
Doctor.
Hi, I understand that some of the ladies are not wearing tudung at home. So you need some time. Yeah, I understood. Okay. But for the first sections, perhaps I need to see you guys. Otherwise, I don't know, like I might talk to robot, right? But never mind. After this, maybe you guys can just ignore me, okay? And I repeat again, please take your attendance, yeah, for the lecture and tutorial every sections when the times come. Okay, so I just hope this during this COVID pandemic, I hope everyone is safe. Okay, don't lali sini, lali sana. Okay, just stay at home. Okay, because our case seems like quite serious, much more serious than during the MCO. All right. So it's very dangerous, although it's not the recovering rate is very high, but then I hope everyone is safe. So I'm going to see you for 14 week, okay? And these courses is quite interesting, okay? And not much things you need to memorize, but then you need to understand the concept and also the programming. In these courses, if you don't really put effort yourself in doing the coding, then you'll be in trouble. I don't care how you handle your other classes. These classes, I hope, are going to be a new courses for you guys. Okay? I might try my best to slow down my pace. Okay? But if you have any questions, just stop me. Okay? Don't be shy. Okay? If you're shy, you learn nothing. Okay? So for information, the contents from this what they call our syllabus actually is from University of Michigan State. Okay, this syllabus is not from local institutions. Okay, I got this syllabus from University of Michigan and I borrowed the material from there. So I hope these classes you guys will enjoy very much. Okay, but please promise to me put extra effort on it because these courses it might help you to create your final project later. A lot of technology I'm going to share with you in these courses. But then if I just depends on me to give you the idea, the knowledge, but then you don't practice it, you don't experience it, then you will be in trouble. Of course, I hope each of you have your own laptop because you're going to do the programming by yourself. Okay? So every week I'm going to see you for 2 hours, okay, or lesser, won't be longer, for 14 weeks. This is 2 plus 1, and 1 credit basically is for the tutorial or we call the lab sections. The lab sections, I hope you guys can do it, and I will try to create a breakout room among you guys during the tutorial. Okay, so means that you can do in. I will assign, okay, among yourself. Okay, perhaps every lab section going to be different members. Okay, because I can't remember all of you. I might break 3 persons, most likely 3% in a group. So you guys can discuss, because programming, usually we don't do it alone. Okay, I hope you guys can form 3, but then later I will assign for you guys and try to sort out the tutorial questions, right? So, and this week means tomorrow. Suppose we have a tutorial or we call lab sections, okay, every Wednesday, 2 to 5 o'clock, okay? And because we are just in the introductions week this week, and a lot of students not here yet, okay? So tomorrow we don't have any tutorial, okay? But then please, you need to sign the lab attendance as well tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Our official tutorial will start next week, okay? So, and we are going to have around 5 to 6 tutorial, not even 7, okay? And every tutorial will take you 2 weeks. You can finish earlier, okay, if you want, okay? And you need to submit your tutorial answer to the Putra Blast, okay? It's a must for that, okay? So before I proceed, I want to share on the synopsis first, okay? You guys can see the slide, right? So I hope all of you are in the right courses. This is a web application development. So in the web application developments, we have 2 separate knowledge. One is the web design, okay? The other one is the one you guys are on to it. Okay, the other one is on the web mechanic. So what we learn here is more on the web mechanic, which is more on the background. Okay, on the background of your web applications, more towards programming. So of course, another part of the web application developments is on the interface, which is the front end, which we are not emphasized thoroughly, but you can learn those subjects, those skill in your HCI, okay, human computer interface. So after complete these courses, okay, someone can please put your mic. Who is that? I can see who is opening your mic. Right? Students,
That's
who is there? Please off your mic, mute your mic. Okay, now it's good. Okay, guys, if you want to talk, who guys? Okay. Okay, guys, please, if you want to speak, then only you turn on your mic, okay? Okay, right. So, by end of these courses, I hope you guys going to be a very great back-end web application developers, okay? But not the front-end side, not the interface, okay? You need to know how your web server, your browser is working, okay? So, if you look at the whole syllabus here, I would say 90% are all technical programming. Okay, 90% of the whole syllabus are in web programming, except the introductions topics, today's sections. Okay, so this one, if you look at the syllabus, yeah, the synopsis, this course basically what we want is to provide you the fundamental concept of web technology. What is a web technology all about? I believe that you guys are familiar with HTML. You guys are familiar with CSS. You guys have heard about JavaScript. You heard about PHP and so on and so forth. Those are all the examples of web technology. We are going to use those technology to develop web applications. Okay? So JavaScript, for example, is a very important scripting language. If you can master JavaScript, whether it's the client side or the server side, okay, when you get into the industry, there is a market value. Okay, Muharas,
Yes, doctor.
can you turn off your mic if you want to speak? Then only turn on your mic. Because
Okay.
I can hear some noise on your side. Okay. Okay, right. If you look at the whole contents, yeah, okay, this is something that I want to share to you today. Right, all about the technologies and who are the one actually invented this technology. This is very important. You guys are software engineering students. You guys are computer science with computer science background. Okay, so at least you need to know why that technology been invented, right? And who are them? Are they a computer scientist? Not at all. Even some of them, you notice that technology that you use today was invented by non-computer scientists. It's a shame, right? To us. We master our computer science, we took our 4 years degree, but then yet we can't even come up with this kind of technologies. Okay, we see who are them. And the second part, okay, I'm going to talk about the HTTP request response. Okay, you guys want to learn about web application development. At least you must know how actually web page is working. You know that web page, web applications is a page, is a document. But then we need to know how your browser, maybe some of you are using Chrome, some of you using Internet Explorer, some of you might using Mozilla. There are so many browsers. You need to know how your browser actually rendering the contents that send from your web server. Right? We know that when we create the web application, we are going to upload our documents, everything in the web server. So how does the request and response works? Okay? How does the request and response works? Through the HTTP protocol. That is the basic knowledge that you need to know. Okay? And beside that, you need to understand you as a developer in this case. So, whether the page can be loaded successfully so that you have the status code 200. When the page is not available, then you will see a code 404. Yes or no? Sometimes you try to key in some URL, you notice that, hey, the page is not available. It's showing something 404. Yes or no? So you need to understand those concepts. Okay, those are the things that I want to share with you today. Before we go to the second chapter, which is next week, HTML and CSS. From the second chapter onward, you notice that all are programming. HTML, CSS, this one, I just used 2 hours to complete the whole thing. Okay? I'm going to move very fast for this one. And I will move my time for the PHP programming. I will move to MySQL. MySQL, I believe that some of you to database application development, right? So I'm not going to go into details what is the MySQL, but I just use 2 hours to recap, okay, what is MySQL, okay? So we know that this is a scripting language that we place it in the server side, okay? Then you need to understand how it works, okay? And then we move into PHP. On this part is just the introductions. But then we go into PHP objects. Like what you learn in the object-oriented programming like Java. PHP also have its own object terms here. Okay? This is come into much advanced topics here. Then you need to do a connection between your PHP and also MySQL. Okay? SQL. On this part, you should be able to avoid some of the security issues. Okay, some of the security issues. And then I will share with you what is cookies and sections. These cookies is not a cookies that you eat. Okay? Cookies and sections are very important. Okay? We need to know this cookies file, how we place in the browser, so that every time when you log into the same page, your browser will send that file, the cookies file, to the server. Okay? And then the sections in your server, you notice that, oh, you have been logged in before this. And this one is very practical when you log into your ATM or online banking. Okay? We are going to use that scenario. Okay? And then related to section and cookies, we take a look on redirect, routing, and authentication. Okay? Then followed by JavaScripts, jQuery. Okay? This one is a library. It's a library. I will share with you how we can use the jQuery to modify the document object model. You must know that whatever you see on the screen now actually is a data that transmit from the server to the browser. But then your browser need to render it, okay, into document object model so that you will see on the screen. So we're going to use this jQuery, okay, to simplify the process, okay, to simplify the process. From 100 over pages of coding, we can minimize it into couples of lines of code, jQuery. And last part, we end our syllabus with a JSON, okay. JSON basically is a protocol scripting. These JSONs, okay, very similar to what you learn about XML. Okay, very similar to what you learn about XML. It's a formatting protocol between the server and also the browser. And this JSON is very important. I will end whole syllabus with a chat application. If you notice that when sometimes you log into a certain application, you notice that your application will check in the server, is there any new incoming message or not? A very simple application is the Google Mail, Gmail. Okay? You on it, and suddenly you saw there's a pop-up message at the bottom there, a new message coming in. How this thing works actually? Okay, actually, your application try to retrieve without your notice a message from the server. Okay, so basically these are all the things that you should learn in these courses. Okay, right? Okay, any questions? And here I have 7, okay, lab, okay, but then I try to combine 1 or 2 of them into one. Okay, some lab is very short, some lab is very long. Okay, this one no need. And you notice that we don't have a formal exam. Okay, we don't have a formal exam. We're going to have the first assessment, okay, before week 7, most likely in week number 6, okay, or week 5. And then after that, we have one lab assessment, okay? That will be your second assessment, okay? And then after that, okay, we're going to have assignment, project, and also the final assessment. You can use any books you want. These are all the suggestions. Because we use too many technology. You can see here, we're going to explore the PHP, MySQL, JavaScript, JSON, jQuery, and in fact, HTML, CSS, at least 5 to 6 technology that I'm going to introduce to you. Okay, so you can refer online. And W3 School perhaps is one of the important sources that you can refer as well. Okay, you guys are third year students, you should know how to find the solution. Okay, I want to stop this one and I want to share with you. Wait, give me a moment. One very important thing. Okay, yeah, this one. Oh no, this not this one. Where did that place? Oh, give me 1 minute. I'm searching a file. Not this one. Not this one. Oh. Where did I place it? Oh, here. Okay, I saw it. Okay. This is important. Okay, good. This is the one. Okay, I share this one to you. Please take notes, yeah? Share. Okay, hope everyone can see this one. This is what they call the CPTS distribution. Okay. If you notice that just now in our syllabus, we do have the 3 key course outcomes. Okay, we do have 3 key outcomes. And these 3 outcomes must be measured on all of you. And you notice that number 1, it will contribute 60%, 10% on the team, 30% on the application developments. Okay, but you can't just see that I break into 2, but actually they are interrelated. Okay, so if you look at these whole things here, these are the assessments throughout the semesters. Okay, I hope you are very clear how your marks, how should you collect your marks. Okay, we are going to have the first assessment this is the first assessment. Okay, it will take you 15%, 1 5, on the week 6 or 5th or 6th week. And then we'll follow by the second assessment. This one will be the lab test. Okay, the question will give to you and you need to complete in the 3 hours. Okay, this one will be complete before week 11, something like that. Okay, and you do have a group project, okay, which is takes you 10%. Okay, 10% group project. Okay, because I want to know you work in a team and also your knowledge. And all the lab assignment you must submit because this one will contribute you 20%. And last part, we do have the final assessment, which takes you 40%. Okay, this one will take you 40%. So usually the students very hard to score their final assessment because it's too much. Okay, I hope you can collect the 60% as much as you can. Okay, because the scope is smaller, right? So in the final, at least you can cover at least 60%, okay, on it. Right? Okay? So any questions? If no questions, I will move to the first topics. No questions?
No question, doctor.
No,
Okay,
sir.
good.
No question.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I share our first topic. Okay, first and foremost, in these sections, I want to share with you the technologies that we're going to use, okay? The technology that we're going to use for these courses, okay? So as I mentioned, the slide, everything is from University of Michigan State, okay? So these are all the technologies that you should learn, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, excluding your HTML and also CSS. Okay, so you have 8 to master in these courses within these 14 weeks. Okay, so Apache server, okay, we're going to use it. Okay, PHP language, this one I'm going to just glance through and much details on this part. JavaScript, jQuery, and JSON data exchange format, okay, is a protocol, right? So these are the 6 things that you need to know throughout the semesters. So you no need to ask me what are the software you're going to use, okay? When the time come by, I will tell you what to do, okay? Just follow my syllabus. So the first one is Apache Web Server. Okay, Apache Web Server, if you look at here, actually is developed by the what we call National Center for Supercomputing Application in 1994. Okay, so Brian, okay, is the what we call person who come into these platforms. He is the one under these foundations, okay? So, and then after this foundation brought out, he brought these projects. So there's a link here. There's a link here. This is the things that I want you guys to do. You guys like to watch movie, right? I want you guys to watch, go to YouTube and watch. Copy this link and paste into YouTube than to know about Apache. Okay? And you should understand that this Apache is written in C language. I believe that most of you never try on the C language, but you need to know that C language is the most fundamental language that inspires a lot of new language that you learn today. C language is the first language that I learned during my time. Okay? And you guys, what you learn is in Java. Okay? And during my time, Java is the last language that I learned. Okay, during my degree level. So if you look at this diagram, we can classify our programming language into two categories. Between the yellow line and the red line here. All the yellow line, all this we call a system programming. But there's a special case under this part. JavaScript and PHP now support both system and also the front-end scripting. Okay? So JavaScript is very powerful. In the old age, we know that Fortran and assembly language were used, okay, to support the scientific calculation purposes. I believe that you know what is the assembly language all about, that you apply in the 3207 courses, right? Computer organization and assembly language, okay? Although not in details, but at least you know what is assembly language. But then after that, after this point, when people want the, what they call, computers have more processing power that not only support calculations, but also on the document processing. Okay, that is where C was invented in 1972. And since then, a lot of new language coming in. Okay, a lot of new language coming in here. And if you notice that all these language, they do have the similar syntax block, like curly brace, semicolon, so on and so forth. Because, for example, PHP is being inspired by the C language. Your Java language is also inspired by the C language. Okay? If you want to know more, please visit this Wikipedia. Okay? You are a software engineering student. You should know about programming language. Okay? The first one, the PHP. PHP, of course, nowadays is the most widely used scripting language, okay, for web programming. Any graduates from computer science faculty, if you tell your industry you never know about what is PHP, you are in trouble, okay? So PHP extends the HTML page by adding a server executable code segment. So we know that PHP in this case is the server script. It's a server scripting. Okay? So on this part, we use the PHP to write the logic at the server side. Okay? So you use the PHP embedded into your HTML page. Okay? So for example, you do have the what you call PHP sections here. Okay? You do have the PHP syntax, but then you can see that, hello, today is Wednesday, how are you? Right? So you can see that how are you actually is the HTML, but this part is under PHP. That is what we call the PHP embedded into your HTML. How are you is the HTML, or this part is the PHP. right? This is how we do it. So PHP, who is the one? Not a computer scientist. Okay? He is not a computer scientist. Okay? Perhaps he is a physician, right? Of course, sometimes physicians is much more awesome than computer scientists because they know much more calculations. Because I noticed that most of our computer students, they don't like calculations. Huh? When we introduce calculus, they die. We introduce algebra, they die. We introduce statistics, they die. All the calculation numerical things, they die. Okay? And perhaps we hope our computer student will be good in programming. They also half dead. Surprisingly. Then what they are doing? Because they not put enough effort in this area, in these fields. Okay? So again, I hope you guys go and take a look on this part about PHP. This is the guide. MySQL, a different story from the PHP. Okay, a different story from the, what do you call this just now? The first one is the Apache. Okay? And of course, I think you are familiar with these two things and a lot more. Okay? I'm not sure how many of you took the web application developments. I assume that some of you might take this semester. Some of you already took it. Okay? You don't tell me you're going to take the database application next semester. Okay? Suppose in the syllabus you should take it last semester or this semester together with the web application development. So, MySQL has powered the Facebook and all these applications. All these dynamic web applications. And in fact, focus on the dynamic web application which engage with the database. Okay? So as I told you, the SQLs have a different story. Okay? So this SQL is from National Institute of Standard, we call NIST. Okay? In States, United States, before Node.js, this is very important. Okay? So the scripting in your HTML, we start with this script. Okay? And we are going to write into your document object model. Okay? Before you show before you can see on the screen. Okay? So perhaps this is the functions that we want, and we want to write these things onto the document object model, which is we call DOM in this case, and then DOM only can show on your screen. Okay? So JavaScript by this guy, okay, 1995, go and watch him. Okay? And you know who is him. So John invented jQuery, okay? Because of, before this, if we want to write a document into the DOM, it could be very lengthy. Then this guy tried to come up with a library. This jQuery basically is a library, okay? So this library will try to make your DOM manipulation easier. Okay? So he is a dean of computer science. Okay? He's a genius, this one. Go and watch it. Okay? So end of the semester, I will tell you what is a jQuery. Basically, jQuery is the one going to manipulate document object model. Okay? In an awesome way. Last part is the JavaScript object notations. Okay, discovered by this guy. Okay, go and watch it. This one is a protocol. It's a notation similar to XML. Okay, but we use JSON in this case. Okay, that transmit from the server to browser. Okay, we want to format the message passed from the server to the browser using Java object notations, JS, or we call JSON. Okay, right? So then those are the people that you need to know about it. Okay, and I want to share with you another things. Okay. Give me a moment. Okay. After you know about what is the technology that you're going to learn, we take a look what is the dynamic web contents. Okay? Okay, guys. We know that web application cannot stand by itself. Right? There are several components to build the web applications ecosystems. We know that in between is this line. This is the internet, and we depends on the HTTP protocol. And from the browser side, we do have all these technology that you're going to learn. Browser, whether you're using Chrome, whether you're using Mozilla IE, okay? On the server side, we're going to focus on these two, okay? So, how your server need to interact with your browser, and through the DOM, it will show on your screen that you see from here. I believe that all of you don't have a problem to create a web page with these two lines, isn't it? If you still don't know how to create these two lines, please today go and search how to write these two lines to warm up your HTML. Okay? We know that this is a hyperlink, right? This is a header. This is a paragraph. Okay? So we will need to understand that we use HTML and CSS to create this thing. Alright? And JavaScript and jQuery is not in yet at this stage. Alright? So when you try to click here, if you move to, of course, another page 2 or HTML. Where is this page 2 located? Of course, from the web server. We know that our pages all store in the server. Right? So you try to key in this URL and then click enter. Your browser will request, okay, to your server. Through what? Through this server here. There are two components. One is the server. The other one is the document. In your server, of course, when you go through a port 80 for all the web pages, web applications. Okay? So you're going to go in, search, okay, this is document you're looking for. So I send back through the HTTP and go through a DOM and then only show on the screen. This circle you need to understand very much. So HTTP, okay, on this part, a protocol, this layer on the internet. So the dominant application layer protocol on the internet, okay, and invented for web to retrieve all the HTML image and document from the server. So of course, this protocol was extended to handle data in addition to documents such as RSS and web services and so on. If you take the CBSE, Component-Based Software Engineering, with Dr. Novia, then perhaps you should know about these web services. Okay? And the basic concept is we need to make the connections, request the document, retrieve the document, and last, close the connections. These 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 happen anytime that you click enter key in the URL and enter. If you request, respond, and do what? Close connections. Open connections, close connections, request, respond, request, respond, request, respond. Okay, this is a circle. So in your URL, you should know that we have the HTTP protocol. This is the host, or we call the server that you are looking for, and this is a document that you search from your server. Okay, you should know about this one. And sometimes before this document, you do have one more component which is called a folder. Okay, for example, page 1 folder, or you can have this one first, don't have HTML. Okay, page, only page 1.html. So in this case, the page is the folder. So getting the data from a server, basically we use a GET request. This is the keyword. Okay, it's a keyword. For example here, you want to get a document from the server. Of course, you can key in the URL and enter, or in fact, you click on this second page. It's also a request. You want the request from what? From the server. It's a request. All the document returned from your server we call response. Okay? And this is what we call request response cycle. Okay? So the server returned the HTML documents to the browser, which format, or we call rendering. Okay? Render. And display the document to the user via DOM. Document Object Model. Okay? So this is a concept that you need to understand. Okay, if you look at this one. Now, you know that this is an internet HTTP. HTTP protocol here. The browser basically is your clients lah, right? This is a client. So you do have the Chrome, for example. Okay, Chrome. So you try to key in here, enter. And you try to click this second page. Second page. What will happen? It will go through your server on port 80. So click on the browser. And then what will happen is that actually you ask your server, okay, through your browser to get this thing. Get basically is referred to request. Then if you respond, okay, then it will respond to you, okay. These are things that return from the server. This thing respond from a server. But the thing is that what you see is this one, not this one, right? what was happened? Actually, in the browser, your browser going to pass or render this thing into a DOM. Then DOM format it into your screen. Okay? This is the cycle that you need to know. That is what we call request response cycle. And you should understand that who is the one come up with this request response cycle? This is the bodies, internet standard. Okay? They're defined by IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. Of course, beside this task force, this standard, we do have W3 Consortium and others. Okay? But refer to what I told you, request response cycle, this is the one. Okay? To come up with that standard. Please visit what is IETF all about. Okay? Of course, you do have the W3 Consortium. Okay? You can take a look. Some of the protocol here. Okay. This one nothing special. It's all about what is request, what is response. Okay. For the HTTP protocol, we do have the 1.0 and now we have 1.1. Okay. Although 1.1 is much more sophisticated, okay, but for information, okay, we still stick to the old way, which is 1.0. Okay. So, if you are in Macintosh, if you have your server ready, you can key in telnet the server that you want to connect in on port 80. And you try to click enter. Then actually what was happen is that these things was executed, which is green color browser request on the server side. Okay? And you will notice that the server will come back on these things. 200 means that successful. I can find these things in this server. Okay. And this component we call metadata. Okay. All the information about your page. And we know that this thing run on the Apache server 2.4.7. And the contents of this page 1 is in text or HTML. Of course, beside this one, you can have an image, audio, so on and so forth. Okay? So when coming back, your server also send this thing. Okay, also send this thing back to your browser. Then your browser only can render this thing to DOM and to DOM to screen that you see it. Okay? So sometimes scripting is very useful. Okay? When coming to connecting with your SQL, I will share with you. I think if I last few semesters when I teach database application developments, I want my students to use the what they call scripting as well. Okay, so scripting sometimes is much more powerful with less resources. Okay, so and these are some of the what they call example. Okay, using the scripting hack into certain movie or something like that. Okay, so you can take a look on this link. Some of the link here is very useful. So hopefully when you do revisions, you can just try to get the link. Getting to know our browsers. Okay, for a browser site, you need to enable your developer mode. Okay, as a developer. Okay. So in Chrome, you need to go to View and then Developers. Firefox, find this one. Safari, Preference Advanced Show Develop Module. And I will stick to the first one. Later, I will share with you on these things. Okay. You need to enable developer mode. What is developer mode? I will share with you in a few minutes. Okay. If you have a developer mode, okay, you need to have the developer toolkits that install in your browser. I will share 3 more files in your what you call this Putra last. Please open that 3 file, the last 3 Word documents. Get ready for that. Okay. So if you try to click, example, this link, okay, you can see this piece of information. Okay, the network is very important because from here you know actually when load one single page, how many requests actually was made from your server to from the browser to the server. Okay, right? And you also need to know what are the message. We see this is using get. See, means the request. Okay. So this one you can explore later. This is only a beginning. Okay. So in browser you will learn about all these things. Document object model. In web server, we are going to use on the Apache. Okay. Web server with the PHP extensions. On the database server, we're going to take a look on MySQL. So this image, this page, I'm going to show many times. Almost every topics, you will see this thing. This is the architecture that you must understand for forever. You are here, right? You try to log into your browser over time, right? So now it's 9 o'clock and then until 11 o'clock, for example. You do some browsing. You try to browse, okay? When you request through the HTTP, come over here. It might involve some statics file library or the PHP code, right? And do some analysis in your PHP. Perhaps from your PHP, you need to request some data from the MySQL that retrieve from your database. Return back, continue to do some analysis. The output with the documents will send back to your browser. Remember that just now? You have 2 things here. This is one thing. This is the second thing that return back from the server, right? Okay. So when you come back to here, your browser need to do parsing or rendering, right? And then if you move to DOM, then only you see from your screen. Or when you pass it, you notice that I need some JavaScripts to modify the output. Okay, the data for me to modify the output. And then you involve some JavaScripts and then move it to the DOM. JavaScript can modify the DOM. Right? Later you have a cookies here. Later you have a sections here. Right? And from the database server, right? So you can have the JSON, and from here you can have the jQuery component. You should know about HTTP protocol, right? So these are all the things that you're going to learn throughout the semesters. right? Okay. Okay. So that one is the two things that I want to share with you. And now I want to share with you something. Okay. Wait, let me share with you. Where is it? Share. Okay. Now you can see on my browsers here. This is a browser. I want you go to get ready the code editor using Atom or Notepad++. But I prefer on the Atom get ready. This one will be you will use it, okay, for HTML and CSS and other programming as well later. Okay, this will be the text editors. And I do have two things here, HTML, CSS validator, and also web developer toolkits. You need to take a look. This developer toolkits is important because it will enable your browser, okay, to be the developer mode. Okay. So validators, when your next assignment, you need to submit to the validator, and then it will validate your HTML and CSS tag before you submit your assignment. Okay. So guys, please pay attention to your Putra Blast. If there's a link, new link, I will share. I will share the new link. Okay. So the lecture attendance and lab work attendance, you need to mark when the time is there. Okay, according to your own time schedule. Okay, so video after sections, I will share the video. Okay, every section I will record and I will share the video in case you want to watch back. Okay. Okay, now I want to share with you to the chunk. This page is loaded. Right? Very similar to the one in the slide, just I share with you. Okay? What I need to do is, okay, I want to enable, this one, more tools, developer tools, then I will see these things. Right? I will see this thing. Okay? So I click on the network. Of course, other things you can see it. Okay? Now, I try to come here, I click enter again. The URL here, I try to enter again, means that I send a new request to this server. So, you see what was happened? It takes how long to load it, this page? Okay? It takes how long to load this page? And you see this page loaded with all the text, image, and so on, with 67 requests. With 67 requests to the server. Okay? So, you try to scroll up. We know that this first thing is the first thing that requests from the server. And you see here, 200 means success, 404, there is a problem. Means that this JavaScript is not loaded. Okay? So if you click inside, you can see here, this is the thing that's sent back from your browser, as I share with you just now in the lecture notes. Right? You use a GET request. 200 OK. Right? On these two things, I will share with you what is this all about in future. So you can scroll down, right? Response header, the information about the server. All these are called metadata. Okay? So, a lot of things you can see from here, the source, okay? Console, elements. In the elements, these are the things that send back from the server as well. It's the code. It's a script that you write, okay? And you upload in the server. These are all the things that return from the server. Okay? Right. So, I think these are the things that you need to know. Let me see. Anything else? Okay. So again, remember, go to this atom. Okay. Go to this atom here, click inside. There's a document, folder a step, and try to install it. Try to write a simple HTML. See whether it works or not. At this moment, for at least the first 1-2 weeks, we no need to have any web server. Okay, you just need this atom. Okay, when I need the web server, I will come share another things that you need to prepare for that. Okay, right? Okay, so I stop sharing. Stop. Okay, guys, any questions?
No, so far.
So far, so good, right? So today, just to try to warm up you guys. So next week, I'm going to start with the HTML. Okay. And if I can't finish the HTML in the lecture, I might move into the lab work section as well. Okay, because I need to follow my syllabus on time, because otherwise I can't finish the whole syllabus. You will notice that this whole syllabus is very packed. Okay, it's a lot inside. Right? Okay, any questions? No question? We're going to dismiss, and I will see you next week.
Yes, thank you, doctor.
Okay, guys?
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Doctor.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Can someone create a WhatsApp group for me?
It's
Do you
okay.
guys have a WhatsApp group among this group? Someone please help me to create a WhatsApp group. You can have my phone number. Right? I'll write down my phone number here.
Tell your number, doctor.
Okay, this is a number I wrote here. Okay. So someone create a group. So we call this SSE3150 semester 1. Okay. And 2020, then good enough for this one. So anything emergency, I will try to share in the WhatsApp groups. Otherwise, please, you need to log into Protoblas very often. Okay, at least a day before the lectures or morning before the lectures. Who gonna create the group? Okay, who's the one to create the groups? Someone volunteer? Right? No one?
I do, doctor.
Arvin, okay? Arvin, you will do it, All right, Arvin? Okay, right, good. So, we're going to stop here. And, guys, Arvin, what is your phone number? 018, right? Arvin, phone number, please write down phone number. Those don't have the phone number, please contact Arvin. This is my number then. Okay? So thank you, Arvin, for creating the group. We have about 20 over students. So I'm going to see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor.
Sir, don't forget to post the recorded lecture. Okay, Priscilla.